Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 110.
Excellent.
Next episode, we will have all ones.
Oh,
that'd be exciting.
Cool.
Yeah, let's just save it for then, though.
Yeah.
We're not excited about it now, but
No.
That'll be like the last time in a really long time we'll have the same number.
Yes. A really long time.
Here, fingers crossed we make it to 222.
This sounds so far away.
Yes, double the amount of, yeah. Anyway, hello! We are punchy already. We just decided, not just decided, but we just had the epiphany that this is our last episode of 2013.
Yes.
Because the Christmases have some traveling involved.
Yes. They're conspiring. While she's gone,
Early.
I'm here.
Yeah.
And then when she's back, I'm gone. So.
Yeah. And I was like, is there a night in there that either one of us? Nope. Okay. Nothing. Away we go. So with that, please be aware that this self-striping KL ends when the ball drops on the 31st of December.
Cool.
So yes, get your self-stripies in. I made my 12. Woot woot.
Oh, here.
Yeah. And we've got that magical, wonderful, glorious grand prize of the Fiber Nymph Inversibles dyed up in the colorway of your choosing, the two colors
Yay.
of your choosing. Yes. I was trying to think, like, what would I do if I had the Inversible and I was picking a color? It would probably be zombie green with something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't given it much thought because I didn't prompt you.
Probably alma mater colors, probably.
Purple and gold, huh? Yeah. That would be pretty fantastic.
It would.
I don't know. I really like Iowa State colors, don't get me wrong, because they are, I don't like bleed them or anything, but, me and my siblings all went there. But like, when you knit them up or they just look like ketchup and mustard. Like they're golden cardinal, but you look like
or Harry Potter.
Or Hamburglar. Like, wasn't he golden red?
Probably.
Or is it just McDonald's? Anyway, I'm not all about those colors. Let's just put it that way. I prefer, like, if it's a gray, something gray with, like, the yellow eye and the red,
That's true. You have to make
yellow
it more...
eye. That makes it sound horrible. Yep. She's got the jaundice. She's got the yellow eye. The golden eye for Iowa State letter. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. What you were saying.
No, I was just saying, like Harry Potter, you introduce the gray into the house colors so that they're muted and they're not as crazy.
Yeah, not ketchup and mustard.
Yeah.
What else do we have to mention? Reporting schedule, self-striping end. Oh, we did the drawing for the Velveteen Rabbit, which I stole it from the baby. It's sitting here amongst a lot of other things, but we are giving away this bag, and you had to have already had your entry in. Some fantastic Velveteen Rabbit. It's got Velveteen Rabbit, a quote here, and the Velveteen Rabbit, and the inside has more quotage. And then I decided to throw in, because I'm not going to make another one, the remainder, so you would have enough to make a size like this of the rabbit, with the remainder of the Jinx yarn in the Velveteen colorway, I believe. No. Yeah, Velveteen colorway. The stripe is vanilla, brown, and pink. I like that description of it, of the white as vanilla, or the cream as vanilla. It makes
Neapolitan.
Yeah, it seems more Neapolitan. And then the pattern and the thread to make the eyes, nose, and whiskers. I did not do the whiskers, but if you're interested, if you're not, and it's not something that you would use, you can say, I'm not interested in that, and we can find another happy home. But we had 292 entries.
Wow.
In that, I know.
It's a good one.
I know. Well, it's an awesome prize. And thank you so much to Annie Light, Miss Anne of Little Skane, for involving us in that. But yes, prematurely, I'm trying to draw it out. It's like in The Voice, or now I'm watching the Sing Off when they're like, and the person eliminated is, it's like almost like
after the break.
Yeah. After the break. Yeah, I'll tell you guys at the end. No. Okay, so 2 through 292 was 156. You are the winner of the bag and possibly the extra accoutrements. And that was Ryonia. Ryonia. And she had a hard time deciding because there's lots of good ones. Mm-hmm. But hers was Christmas Carol.
Okay.
Yeah. Fantastico. So, congratulations, Ryonia. You are the winner, and please contact me, and I can get that to you so that you can start using your very Christmassy themed bag and possibly knitting yourself a Velveteen Rabbit because they're super cute. Again, the yarn is Jinx yarn. The pattern is Bunny Love by Susan B. Anderson, and the bag was created specifically for this Read With Me series by Little Skane. Yep. What else? Achievement unlocked. That's kind of like a the sound. I am sorry. I'm all over the place. If this is your first episode watching, I'm not normally this spazzy. I'm just feeling very punchy tonight. I'm punchy. Whenever I say that, though, I think of Punchy from How I Met Your Mother. His friend, Punchy. Anyway.
The end of How I Met Your Mother.
Like the slap bet.
Yeah, it's like his final slap.
Is it?
It has to be, because
I thought he had 6 or 5.
He said it was his present, so I'm assuming it's the final one, right?
So
whether he had more or not.
Oh, okay, that's got it.
But
spoiler alert.
Sorry. That's just my guess. They didn't show it.
I couldn't remember the number of them or what number they were on, but yeah.
Well, even if he had 4 left, it could be like, this is your final one.
Yeah.
That's your gift.
Or that it's just over with.
True.
That could be a gift in and of itself.
Yeah.
Finally, in Administrati, I wanted to give an update. Last year I gave a lot of updates. Amy reminded me, she was like, yeah, it felt like we were updating all the time. About the hat pattern, Measure and Love, that I created for my sister Melly. I'm raising funds for the National Women's Health Network. And when I combine the sales of For Good and then the sales for Measure and Love
for this year,
we have up to $1,200.
Yay.
Which is fantastic. I'm not trying to, like, change my perspective to make it positive. I really am blown away by the number of people that this has been extremely meaningful to. Mm-hmm. Just out in social media or people that have PM'd me. 2 podcasts that I watch and listen. The Prairie Girls Knit and Spin podcast. She went on and on about how much it meant to her and kind of shared a story about her mother. And then Miss Shu, Sarah, of In a Snit podcast, also, she gifted her the pattern. So it's just a big love fest, right? Like I love that love. Like, I'm in love with the love. Even if we don't match the numbers,
dollar amounts.
Yeah, that has an impact in the donation to the National Women's Health Network, but the impact of people hearing stories, carrying on a message of love, that's way, you can't quantify that in dollars, in my opinion. So, I just wanted to give an update on that and thank everyone that has purchased it and or knit it, or plans to knit it, or has just been touched by the story and, has changed either behaviors or the way they looked at life or, anything, really.
My daughter has become really into some musicals lately. Speaking Measure and Love in different musicals. Not Rent yet.
Okay, yeah.
No.
That might be hard. Yeah.
But Sound of Music.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was really hoping, like, Mary Poppins came on the TV just before bedtime, and it was some songs that I really like, and I was trying to get her to watch them. Too busy. She didn't want to watch them. But I'm like, exactly. Like, hey kids, the toys, they're moving.
No.
Don't care.
My daughter has figured out, I think I've mentioned that before, but she's still gleamed onto it, that she can YouTube or like go out onto Disney, and so she, on repeat, we've been listening to the Frozen.
Yes, my daughter saw that without me this weekend.
Ooh.
Because my son was being a poop and didn't want to go. So
You let Daddy take her.
well, he said he really wanted to go, and nobody was happy. And I was like, fine, I will make the son do errands with me. Because he can't be happy while everybody goes and sees a movie. He has to... And of course, he's like, as long as I don't have to go to that movie, awesome. We're going to Target and running errands. He didn't care one little bit, but no, like things that he wanted to do, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, we've had that song, the main song from Frozen, on repeat in my house. Yeah, it's not a bad song. I get tired of listening to the same song and over and again, but you know, I'm guessing that as a parent I'll encounter that more and more as she gets older and older. Mm-hmm. They like the same song. I think I remember listening to Shoop by
Shoop.
by TLC. Shoop-a-doop, shoop-a-doop, like a billion times. Like I could probably, if you pulled that out and started it up, I could probably sing every little rap lyric.
Well, and we've already proven to several people that you know all the lyrics to Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Stop.
Celebrate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new edition. Something. Grab a hold and tight. Flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? No. I don't know. I might edit out some rapping.
And cut.
And it's on the floor. Anyway, yeah, that was all the administrati and rapping. Speaking of rapping, I've got rapping to do.
Oh my gosh, I have a lot of rapping to do.
And
but it's mostly for the kids because, yeah.
That pun never gets old. Mm-hmm. I always love and I'm rapping. Alrighty. And away we go. Do you have any echoes?
One.
One?
I have my seamless Lomas for my grandfather.
Does he have similar sized feet as you?
No, I was told that they're kind of like my husband's. So these are bigger than...
In that they're male? Or what does kind of like my husband's mean?
I asked my mom. Oh, because I didn't want to spoil the surprise. And she said, I don't know, probably the same size as, Stan, which is her husband. And I'm like, well, I think that he has the same size as my husband, so okay, let's give it a try.
Yeah, oh yeah, yours are way tighter. See, mine will stretch a bajillion.
Okay.
A bajillion! Like, this might almost fit on my head.
No.
It would totally fit on one of my children's heads.
Oh, but you have the open.
Yeah, I left it open because I didn't know. I don't want to embarrass my mom, but she does have large feet. And so I knit this is fingering held double. Mm-hmm. And I'm transitioning into my FOs. I'm sorry.
I don't have any more.
Okay.
So, yeah.
What is it out of?
This is the Baruco Vintage Chunky. Mm. So it's, or Baruco.
Baruco.
Yeah. I just wanted them to be quicker, so I decided to go with the chunky. My husband says they're a little bit smushier and harder to get used to when you're walking on them, but he's kind of solved that by putting them over the top of his cotton socks when he gets home. So whatever trips your trigger, he still wears them, and these are for my grandpa.
So mine are Felici held double, And I went down to, is the pattern written for 5s? Needle sizes escape me. I went down to 4s because fingering help double isn't quite the equivalent. And I went up to the largest size, and I left the top open, and I did 4 inches distance here when it's stretched because she has wider feet as well. I don't know if you will be able to see it or not. I tried to match these up. By God, I still did not match them up. So the stripes, I wound, they come in 2 separate balls, and I sat there and I pulled and pulled and pulled, and okay, maybe it's the opposite. So then I took the other end and I pulled and pulled and pulled, and by that point I had a mess. So I went and got my ball winder out, and I wound it into a ball, and then I wound the other one into a ball, and the purple.
But they could be like different lengths when they got dyed.
I guess, but the purples line up, this darker blue lines up, but then like there's a light and medium blue that kind of marl in this stripe, and then it goes back to they're all lined up. I don't know. It almost seems like they striped them different, and I just got 2 different balls that striped in the wrong direction, because how could you possibly have the purple match up, the blue match up, the purple match up, the blue match up, the purple match up, and then have like only, every other one the wrong one. So then you flip it on its head and you're like, no, it wouldn't have ever matched up. Like, it was a physical impossibility, I think.
So one was dyed with a lighter color than the other. Yep. One part was dyed. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think they're flip-flopped.
Yeah.
Like, this was a light one and this was the light one was the same one. Anyway, woo! It was super exciting, I'm sure, for you guys on the podcast. But I'm hoping that they fit her and that she hasn't seen me posting them in social media and gone, oh, those must be for me. So this was one self-striping. And then I got the face on my my little guy. It's so cute. My little Quinn walks around with him
holding his ears.
Isn't that how they carried him around in the book? I swear. Yeah. I kind of gave him a wider nose. He doesn't have a triangle nose. He's kind of got like a human nose. Yeah, but I like it. He's cute. So yeah, nothing got done other than the placing of the face, and like I said, no whiskers and no tail, because he would pull those out. But yes, and then he's getting so smart. Like, so smart. And I know this is just the mom and me, but I'm like, so Quinn, what is this? Bunny Rabbit. I'm like, but what are you going to name him? Bunny Rabbit. And I was like, but what's his name going to be? Hop. Hop. I was like, okay, that's the perfect name for him. So this is Hop, by the way. Nice to meet ya.
Yeah, we have Cubby the Cub, Sharky the Shark. My son was really clever with all of his names as well.
He's very literal in his name.
My daughter went very, human names with most of her pets. So.
Last Christmas present was the drizzle that you saw me knitting. It's really big on me because I have a small head. That you saw me knitting last week. Put a plate in it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
To stretch out this part right here.
Lovely.
Yes. Well, it's
supposed to be
Aran weight yarn, and the pattern is written for DK, I believe.
Okay.
So I went down to the smallest size, and what else did I do differently?
Lots of modification.
No, just went down to the smallest size. I did probably block it pretty aggressively by I left the brim unblocked, but I put a plate in to block the lace out, and so that you can get the pretty top to the hat. But she'll wear this year round, and she shoves her hair up into it, and it needs room. It needs to be roomy, because you never want a tight hat when you're giving it to somebody. It's not too, it's just the styling, right? You and I aren't big slouchy hat people.
No.
I'm kind of becoming one. My measure of love is kind of slouchy. But yeah, I've been primarily doing Christmas knitting. I've got some sock yarn that, or the one that I showed last week that I did because it wasn't in 2 balls, I balled it. I got a little balling happy. I was like, I'm using my baller and my new phone. I got a new phone, and I was playing on my new phone. And so I took one end and balled it up, and then set the other one, and my scale. What's it called when you zero a scale?
Tear.
I teared my scale with a box in it and left the other end in it, and just kept on turning until it got to 50% or 50 grams, and then I took them. Yeah, I felt super like, and those are gonna match up. Like, I figured out how to make them match up, so those will be done. My brother's birthday is right before Christmas this fall, so
Okay.
they could be birthday presents. And I'm fairly certain that he does not watch podcast, at least not into this level.
Yes.
Neither does my mom, really. I think she listens for the kid chitter chatter at the beginning, and then she's
Goodbye.
goodbye. Yeah, those are my FOs.
Cool.
Crazy holiday knitting
Yeah.
FOs.
Yeah, so I was all set to, not cast on anything, and work on my current projects. And then I got to where I was like, oh, I need to knit these for my grandfather. And then I was like, oh, I need to knit something to cover the Kindle. And I have a pattern that is for a Kindle cover.
That I designed.
So I should totally knit one of those. Now, this isn't Rasta. This is just the Malabrica worsted held double. And so it's not as thick, and I'm having to put more stitches into it. But it'll still protect it and be a nice little
What color
case
is
for
that?
it. I don't know.
Very pretty.
It's
pretty.
I documented the ball out on my stash, but I'm not sure if I put the name out there either.
So I really like the blues and the purples.
Yeah.
And I like the marl that you're getting on the held double.
Yeah, we were in Des Moines, Iowa, in downtown somewhere. They had a thrift/yarn store downtown. I don't remember the name of it. They didn't have like a huge yarn selection, but it had like vintage items and then some yarn. Cute store. And so we bought, Lucy and I picked this out and bought that. And then I didn't get anywhere with my vest, but I thought I would just pull out each of the projects that I'm trying to get through at a vest. I knit one mitt in each size, so the adult and the child, many moons ago. I would like to finish so that I have a pair in each size instead of just one in each size.
Two hoes don't make a foe, yo.
Yes, exactly. And then I have been knitting, and I don't know if she's watching, but our birthday winner, if she is watching and I haven't messaged her before she sees this, I kind of want to know if she wants this blocked with the points on the ends or just smooth. I can do either. I've seen it blocked both ways out online, so if I do the smooth edging or pull the points. I've liked it both ways. I think the points are pretty good.
Amy can go both ways.
I knew it was coming. I just braced for it. Like, yeah, unintentional stuff. But I'm very close to getting this off the needles. It's only got one more repeat left. I think I have a little bit to finish up the current repeat, but
You still getting the slubbing?
yes. I was telling Megan after we recorded last week that every once in a while in this ball of yarn, and it's Dream in Colors Smooshy with cashmere, I'm getting like schlubs, like it's not spun or it's got extra fiber in it, and it's more than you would expect for consistency and quality control. But we have been, we looked over the fabric and we couldn't see any of them to point out where they were. But yeah, it was kind of disappointing to...
and an annoyance, right? I mean, if it's not affecting what you've finished what your finished object looks like, then it's not really, in the long run, it's just kind of an annoyance.
Yep. But yeah, I can't really pick any out right now, so it doesn't look that, at least in this pattern, so it was the perfect pattern for that.
I've had highly biased yarn before that like loves to make love to itself, right? Mm-hmm. So like you hold it up and it just goes, right? Mm-hmm. And that's an annoyance to me because you're constantly like trying to get to work the bias out of it so that it's not tangling.
Right.
Just quit making love to yourself. Sorry.
But that is well on its way, and I figure I will probably end up blocking it before we record again, so I will get a message out to her as well. But hopefully you can let me know soon so that I can block that. And then I have the Measure in Love cowl.
You have a parade of...
Which I'm really excited to get working on again. This was like a must cast on all the things, and then it got set down forever.
Really pretty colorway. And that's Sheep Dreamery?
Yes, this is Sheep Dreamery, Once in Love with Amy colorway. It looks like it might be threatening to flash in the cowl, but I'm sure it'll be beautiful. I am not worried about it at all.
Well, you're holding double, right?
Yep.
So, yeah. Flashing seems like it's less likely.
But it looked like it was threatening to do it.
Yeah, it did. Mm-hmm.
So, and then the socks that have been on the needles for more than a year in the Zombie Barbecue colorway. So, yeah. I think I've got a good heel flap there.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever found that when you let something languish that long, that when you pick it back up, that your tension is different?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yes. I worry about this picking this up again, but I think it'll be forgiving.
You have lots of needles attached to that project.
Just 2.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. How many ones do you have? Are those not?
I collect them.
Okay.
I do. Since they're my go-to sock needle, I have collected I want to try that needle. So
yeah,
I want to try that needle. Oh, I want to try that needle. Oh, this is my new favorite. I'm going to buy another set. Yeah, I collect size 2.25 needles.
I guess it's obvious by my line of questioning that I do not.
Yeah.
Like, boy, that's a year with 2 of your ones.
And then I finished one. So I have a hoe for my Annabelle, wait a minute.
Annabelle's Extra Yarn.
Annabelle's Extra Yarn sock. And I'll just put it on here.
And that's the Jinx yarn.
Yep. And so this is the pattern. It pops. And these are for my daughter. The modification I made is I did the OMG heel instead of the heel that came with it. I don't know if that's affected the tightness, but the fabric on the back side of this pattern is making the leg tighter than the foot. It does fit her, so I'm not really concerned about it, but it was something I noticed when she was trying to put it on. It was some zhuzhing was kind of required for her to then pull it over her foot because of the tightness in the leg. And then, yeah, but once it's on there, it looks like a good fit. It's not pulling or doing anything bad. And so, in true fashion, as soon as I got it done, I put on a miniature toe here, and so hopefully I can get going on that again. I must admit that my my other projects, so like these were getting in the way, and then I started this, and then I have been knitting a lot on the To Infinity and Beyond. So now that most of those are heading to exit. Yeah, sorry, I have to do the arm raise. So since those are finally coming to a close, and I think that I'll be able to zoom once again, I'm excited to get this pair of socks off the needles. So it will probably be my next must get it done project. And I was actually given a reprieve because my family's Christmas was moved, and I will be working on this sweater more diligently as well, so that I can maybe have a chance of getting it done before I see them again. They moved it a month, so.
Oh, a month? That was like a week? You're going to get that done in a week?
No. They moved it from what was going to be this weekend to out in January. So I'm like, out in January. Hopefully I can get enough done. I did notice that some people decided to only do the craziness on the front and just did a stockinette back, and I'm like, well, that's an option.
Yeah.
That's an option. You're not going to look at the back yourself, you know, you see it in the mirror or whatever, and you know, it would be a lot easier to just do a stockinette back.
Yeah. If it didn't get boring.
I don't know. This is a lot of pattern. So that'll slow you down. Whereas if you stockinette, you can go zoom, get that back done, piece them together. So we'll see. After I get the front done, I'll make that decision. But that's it. That's it. I'm starting to get tired. I'm sorry.
I would be stressed out by the number of whips that you have, to be quite honest with you.
Well, see, and again, I brought them all out to show you. It was kind of like a shame parade, right? Like, I want to get these done. So here are the things that I've been staring at, and I want to get done.
All right. I have a top secret design, but I love the yarn. The yarn isn't what the design is for. So I wanted to show it. This is Storied Yarns. I believe I have her little thingamajigger in here. Storied Yarns. Fiber Arts for Fanatics. StoriedYarns.com in the wash colorway, which is one of my favorite Serenity characters. It's in her Firefly series, and it's 75% merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards. Yeah, it's just
your inevitable betrayal.
Yes. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at those yellows. And I wouldn't say it's white, but it's kind of like a yellowy white, and some pops of green and darker greens, and sometimes there's blue. And it's just fantastic. Everything about it is fantastic. I love knitting with it. You can't see the other side because I'm a tease. But it's fun. You're gonna love it.
I get to see it.
Yes, you get to see it. It's like it's not that. Don't worry about it. So that will be forthcoming. And then the only other thing that I am working on, other than finishing up all that stuff, this is the Little Stitches Hoodie by Amy Carnegie. It is available through the Three Irish Girls website. Yeah, there's not a real good picture that I can show you, but it's something. So Amy made the face last week, and I should have heated the face when I held up the two together. I was going for like one offsetting the other, and when it got knit up, the very brilliant of the red that I had for the contrasting was just too much. Like, you didn't look at the rest of it. All you saw was like
the red band at the bottom.
Yep, the red band. So I grabbed the leftovers that I had from my husband's flax. This is the Dreamy Color Classy in the gray tabby colorway, and it's a different weight, but it seems to be okay. This is a good project for me to keep me moving on my designs, because there's only so much of this linen stitch that I can do before I start wanting to claw my eyes out, which is not to say that I don't love it, because it's absolutely a labor of love. It's something that you're gonna hate the knitting of it, but you're gonna love the finished object, because look at that. I mean, if you've been looking at some of the folks that have been, a lot of my social media feeds have people that are doing weaving. No, I use this for the weft, and I use this for the warp, and it's fantastic. I love it. I love the feel of it. Feel it. It's just a fantastic fabric that it's creating. but I can sit here and work on it for an hour and get maybe an inch, right? Like it doesn't go fast for DK weight on size 6 needles. No.
Yeah, and that should zoom you would think.
Yep. So I think these are my the Chinese needles that I got from eBay. And I think these are 8s and these are 6s. Does that seem right? That seems about right.
Yep.
So yeah, this is 716 knit in the Boss, 716 Boss, and the ball is getting smaller. I can feel that I'm making progress. It just takes a while. So this is the body of it, and I'll get up to the armholes, and then it will be hopefully zoom, but again, still in the linen stitch. But yeah, super fun. I think I'll make a hood. I can't remember if the hood is in linen stitch as well. Love you, Amy, but linen stitch is making me work on other things, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I see those linen stitch scarves, and I think I just need to become friends with somebody with a loom.
Yeah.
And just hand them some yarn. Just like, loom away.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a very compact, dense fabric that it's creating, and basically it takes you 2 rounds to equal what would normally be a, 1 round. So it's just slow going, but it's fantastic. I don't know if you guys can see the stitch definition on that or not, but and then now the gray is kind of annoying me because it started to streak towards but it'll be okay. Yeah, it just kind of fits the motif of colors swirling.
I like that it picks up the gray that's in the yarn, so it's a good match.
Yeah. So I will use that red that I got on something else because he loves the red, and he's like, Mom, but you could make something else with me with that. And I was like, yes. My children all of a sudden have become, I think it's because my youngest has started wearing the socks that like I knit for my daughter and she never wore, and my son never wore. I mean, like, we gave them to him and he didn't choose to wear them, like he didn't want to knit them or wear them. And now all of a sudden, my baby my Quinny Quinn is wearing them, and now the older kids are like, hey, he's got knit socks and I don't.
It's like, well, they were yours.
Yeah, and you didn't wear them, and now he's wearing them and loves them. So now I've kind of got I've got leftovers self-striping that I can start knitting up.
Got requests coming in.
I do. Requests have been made.
Cool. Me too.
Do you have any enabling?
I might have similar enabling to you.
Yes. Oh yeah, I was going to show the balling party that I had. They are work in progress adjacent, which is kind of enabling. Kind of. Some of them weren't purchased. I'll do the ones that I didn't get in the mail this past week. So I said that I was going to knit the Antros, and I want to knit the Antros, which was from it's by Shannon Cook, and it was from Journey that we reviewed and gave away a copy of. And so I picked some Stagnating Stash from my Madeline Tosh Sweater Club days. This is Vintage Sari. Pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. I don't know if you can see. There's like kind of brilliant pink, but then there's also like some purples and some browns in there. The brown really differentiates it for me. And this is at 80-10-10 and MCN.
Oh, wow.
Very vinegary.
Oh, I'm not going to smell it then.
Yeah. But my Madeline Tosh bin is now down to a half.
Oh.
I was able to put like some of my Clara yarn in there.
It's a big bin, guys.
It's not big. It's small. It's not the bathtub sized. But I still have a lot of sweater quantities in there. Don't get me wrong. But I there's something about balling that I just absolutely love, because it's like, I'm gonna knit this and it's gonna be out of my stash. I think that's the song in my head. My husband's like, why are you so excited about that? And I'm like, because A, I'm going to work with this beautiful yarn, and B, it's going to be out of my stash. going to be worked into the form in which it was meant to be. So that was in my absolute wonder bag.
So I got my very first mustache yarn.
Me too.
And it's not stripies.
Mm-hmm.
We are proud owners of the, what's the?
Halilea
KL yarns. I probably won't be KLing with you guys, whoever it is, but I just couldn't resist. The price was right, and I now have this beautiful yarn.
Mm-hmm. And so I did my ball and party, and I put it all in one, because I figure if I'm going to alternate skeins, I can still do that from the inside and the outside. So this is, yours is Kapow, or Capeo.
Yeah, and I thought this was going to be more garnet, more red, deep red, and it's less so in person.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a trick of the monitor. I'm sure this is the color that was intended.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not a big
really
fan.
Pretty.
Garnet is my birthstone, and I like that color better than the deeper red. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think that shows more depth.
Yes.
Than if you just went with a cow red, right?
Yeah, and I have like the Papao red in my stash right now, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. So this is really pretty.
Mm-hmm. I have the Pomakai. I don't know how to say it, but it's the green.
It's green.
It is. It is for reals green. And like I said, I decided to put it all into one big skein. There's a really cool stitch marker that came.
Yes, I have it.
Because I can pull from the inside and outside. But look at that. Oh, wow. And again, my Stanwood Needlecraft. To be honest with you, I balled this up first on Stanwood Needlecraft, and it just like, woo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And then I did this darn Antaros MCN skeins, and there's like 6 of them. And I was like, it just became like when you're knitting I-cord. Right? Where you knit to the end and then you have to slip it back and knit to the end and slip it back. And it's like, why? So few stitches, back and forth, back and forth. This was like 6 different little skeins that I had to ball up instead of just 2, right?
Yep.
Like it became an annoyance. Kind of like your slub. An annoyance. Actually, I have more than that in here. No, I have 6. 6 little baby skeins. But yes, I am super excited to be KLing the Halilea. I think I'm going to do the V-neck cardigan. And that starts, so I should have this on the needles by the time you see me next. Starts the day after Christmas. That KL. And I wanted to thank Melski and Mustache Yarns for including us in that. I'm super excited. This base is super squishy. Cool. Especially when it's in this big honkin' hell of a skein. Big ball. Big ball, yo. And that's in my Girl Kid bag. And then I got my Zombie Knitpocalypse swap from Miss Fiona of a Down Under yarn. Solar Flares. Yeah. And she sent 3 of these all the way from Australia. Yo.
Yeah.
I'm like, I sent a pretty light little package compared to her. So it's the little Cadbury Christmas stocking, which is super cool. And I have 3 children, but I decided I'm going to eat one. I'll give one to my children, and I gave one to Amy. Tis the season. So yes, Fiona, Amy got one as well. And then I got this cute little stocking. And it took me a second. It's kind of like one of those old lady.
Oh, yeah.
Or what's the old lady? Or a vase?
No, it's a young girl.
Oh, old lady, young girl, and then there's like a vase or people kissing thing. If you focus on the white bars, you're off. Because I was like, is it R2D2? What is that? But they're koalas. So this is going to go on my tree. It was knit in Australia. Koalas. Yay. I have a kiwi from New Zealand it's literally from New Zealand. I bought it when I was there on my honeymoon. So now I've got that side of the country represented on my Christmas tree, my Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Cool. Thank you, Fiona. And that was a fun little, not very stressful swap, I thought.
Yep.
Maybe you were more stressed than I was.
I mean, I have a lot of things going on, so maybe I felt a little stressed about it. But it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll probably be doing more get to know you, get together kind of things for the Knitpocalypse coming in the new year.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Knitpocalypse, are we going to transition here?
Mm-hmm. We are talking about the retreat, so if you are not interested, we will not judge you. We will
not have any idea.
Well, I can see on Blip, I think they call it percent penetration.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's a good figure. But you can see how long people last into the show.
Oh,
so
interesting.
90% of the people watch 50% of your show.
Oh wow.
It's a bar graph. And you know how I love those.
Sure do.
I look at it. So I might know if you leave, but I won't know who you are. Anyway. Tangent.
So, we sent out a roommate questionnaire form. If you do not know who your roommate is yet, you can go out to our thread and find a roommate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's stickied into the Knitpocalypse threads.
Mm-hmm.
And on the note, there's a link to that. And also, if you already know, you can submit, have the primary person submit all your roommates through the form.
Yep. And then the primary contact will also be responsible for calling in when prompted with the credit card to hold the room. Yeah, ultimately, your roommate needs to be somebody that's coming in at the same time as you. So if you're coming in on Wednesday, hopefully you can find somebody that's also staying on Wednesday so that you can split the room throughout. But no charges are due until you check out in June. So that credit card that's holding the room won't be charged for the whole of the room. It'll be split between the two occupants. I'm trying to think. All of this is based off of the questionnaire you filled out when you signed up. So if you marked down that you wanted to be a single and you're interested in having more yarn money and sharing a double occupancy room, you just need to respond to that email and let us know, and we can get that swizzled because we hope to have everything done by the end of January. So January 31st is our deadline. If you did not fill out that questionnaire, which I think now everybody has since I've sent that, but if you didn't, the original one, we will assume that you're a day pass and that you don't need hotel. What else? Yeah, and if you don't find yourself a roommate by the 31st, we can find you one.
Yep.
At the end of the 31st. And no action is needed in that case. You don't need to fill out a form or anything. We'll be contacting you at the end of January. Cool. Yes. So yeah, there'll be a lot less swizzle room come the end of January. So let's get things set now.
Mm-hmm.
Once the hotel has your name and is expecting you to call in with your credit card to hold it, it's a little harder to change. So.
Yep. And a few people have come off the wait list.
Yep.
Not hordes of them, but we've had a pretty good percent of people take us up on our offers.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm thinking that by January-ish, end of December, we might have a few more pop up.
Yep.
So with that, I think we're done.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Ukta.